The Lockhart Perspective.
Well, hello and good afternoon to each and every one of you. Today we have a few stories that we're going to cover here. This one will definitely be here, but the other stories are really not going to be able to be here. You'll have to go to Patreon using the link. For those of you who are already patrons, you'll have to use the link that's in this homepage. Go there for the next stories, okay? They are really good, and I don't want them to be thwarted or any of that. So here's the story that we're looking at right now. So the story says it's coming out of, the date is Geneva, Switzerland, May 27th. And the title obviously is Analysis, which is Global Rule by Experts is a Reality and a Risk to Self-Government. This is from Stefano Generani, JD, okay? Good, heavyweight there. All right, so here we are. The World Health Assembly has voted to give the World Health Organization significantly more money from member states. However, the body is still negotiating whether to give more powers to the agency's experts in health emergencies. The World Health Assembly adopted a budget, a decision earlier this week to increase assessed contributions to 50% of the organization's roughly $5 billion annual budget, compared to less than 20% currently. But in a defeat for the Biden administration, countries are expected to postpone the consideration of the United States amendment to the International Health Protocols for Pandemics tomorrow at the World Health Assembly. The changes to the international health regulations will give the World Health Organization officials more powers in future pandemics, powers that they would use to interfere with domestic politics on abortion and other hot-button issues. Now, I'm going to pop in here for a quick second. On the 13th of May, I did the story dealing specifically with this particular hot-button issue, and it is on BitChute right now. It's only got a few views on there, but when there are those type of stories, I have to put them someplace. So you may want to check there, and if you are a Patreon, then going forward, you will get at least 3 hot button stories every day because they're flowing in so much. I don't want you to miss the information. So I pulled this up just a little bit bigger so that you guys can see this right here, okay? And let me make sure you can see it. Hello to everybody. All right, yeah, so I guess you guys can see it. All right, so here we are. Let me go ahead and finish. The link to this story will be down below in the description, but there's a lot of heavy stuff that's going on right now. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So anyway, it goes on to say, I'll repeat this part, but in defeat for the Biden administration, countries are expected to postpone the consideration of the U.S. amendments to the International Health Protocols for Pandemics tomorrow at the World Health Assembly. The changes to the international health regulations would give the World Health Organization officials more powers in future pandemics, powers that would be used to interfere in domestic politics on abortion and other hot-button issues. The United States amendments are supported by the European Union and other Western donors, but met some resistance from African countries, Malaysia and Philippines, as well as Iran, among others. Governments ask for more time to consider the amendments, plus open a transparent negotiation to discuss them more fully. The changes to the budget were presented as a measure to reduce the influence of donors who earmarked funds for special projects. Bill Gates, the second largest single donor to the World Health Organization, funds over 10% of the health agency's budget annually at nearly $800 million. Only Germany gives more money to the Global Health Agency. But the overall effect of increasing the regular budget will be to increase the funding and influence of the organization without adding any transparency or reducing the impact of earmarked funds. In the long term, it may even indirectly boost Bill Gates's influence, something that does not bode well for self-government. In his latest book, Bill Gates described a team of global health officials that can quietly quash a pandemic within hours of the outbreak. Gates imagines 3,000 officials and scientists with a $1 billion budget and the power to declare a pandemic. Such a declaration should allow the experts to take control of the world's governments, stop global travel, block all economic and social activity, and curtail civil liberties. After disrupting great part of the world's political and economic structures, the experts would oversee the rebuilding of a healthier, greener, more LGBT-free, friendly world through vaccine and diversity mandates and rake in billions of dollars in the process. The irony is that this vision of the global rule by experts is already in great part a reality thanks to Bill Gates and Western governments' heavy hand in global health governance. During the COVID-19 pandemic, governments around the world were at the mercy of the international health experts. Self-government was undermined as a result. Rather than take responsibility for the national health policies and suffer the political fallout of their decisions, nations fell in line with the daily bulletins and press briefings of the World Health Organization. For their part, the risk-averse health experts crafted ever more draconian recommendations based on limited or inaccurate information, including unprecedented mandates of experimental vaccines. It took several weeks for even the bravest of the United States governors to break these edicts. Small businesses around the world went bust. Entire political classes were economically wiped out. Technology giants like Amazon tripled in size. According to the best-selling book, The Real Anthony Fauci of Robert F. Kennedy, billionaires increased their personal wealth exponentially during the pandemic. Bill Gates himself made $22 billion, according to Kennedy, including through investments in Pfizer and other pharmaceutical companies who contributed to the COVID-19 vaccine development and distribution. This is not to say that the issue was planned, nor is it to say that international cooperation is not needed to address pandemics. It is to say that international health experts already have incredible powers, that players like Bill Gates contribute greatly to those powers and how global bodies make decisions, and that they do so without any real transparency. Now, I'm not going to make any commentary on this for obvious reasons. I know a lot of people have been saying that they feel buffering and all kinds of other stuff when we get down to the get down. So what I'm going to do is leave this right here. But I do want to let you know that if you are a Patreon of this channel, this is the time to start to do your thing. I'm going to come over here and say hello to you guys before we leave. All right, we're out of here, but I'm going to let you know that if you're a patron, I appreciate you. And if you're not, you might want to be, but you definitely want to get these next stories because they are hot button issues. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go on ahead and start recording them, and they will be in audio only. They will not be in any visual, so it'll be just audio only. Okay? So, Rick the Explorer, hey, how are you? Betty R, it's good to see you, precious. Crystal Anderson, how are you? Hey, there's my sister, Sandy Aaron, and my other sister, Betty R. Hey, Hal, hey, how's it going? You know who you are. Nancy Jimenez, how are you doing today? And we also have Millie McLarkin. I like that name. That's cute. Darlin Dar, what's going on? What's going on? Shelly M, how are you today? And we have who else? Oh, Black Spring, how's it going there? Good to see you, sis. And Monique to see, how are you? It's good to see you. Good to see you. All right, you guys, looks like that's all that we have here in the chat. Don't want to leave anybody out. Also, those who may be driving or working or just may not have the opportunity to come into the chat, or maybe you just like to listen. That's fine. I want to let you know that I say a hearty hello to you as well. Okay. All right, folks, I'm going to let you go on this one. But there are some good stories that I've got to go and record. A lot of things that are happening. It's just amazing. Oh, you have a question for me, Darling Dar? Oh, okay. Headlines with a voice. I think Darlin Dar has a question for you. All right, let's see. What's the question? I don't want to leave anything out. Let's see. Darling Dar has a question. Where's the question? Retype the question. Does this beautiful lady answer questions on here and interact with her followers? Yes, I do. I certainly do. But I don't see a question, and I'm sorry. Maybe it's down at the bottom. And I also have them on a delay, just so that you know that there is a 10-second delay. So when you hear me now, there's 10 seconds. It's a 10-second before. When you type something, I get the comment 10 seconds after you've typed it, unless I'm in the actual chat And for that purpose, let me come over here right now before we get off the air here and do that. I don't want to let anybody ever feel like they're ignored here. That's the worst feeling. You know what I mean? Okay, let's see. I'm in the actual chat with you guys. I don't see it. Thank you for keeping up with them. You know what, you guys? I'm going to tell you something. A lot of the stories that I do, if you really were to listen to what I'm telling you and really get in there and look, you would be amazed because there's a load of stuff. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're just being soft." No, sir, no, ma'am. Get inside of those stories and look at the all of it. Just read it, break it down when I put it up there, and look and see what it's saying. Sometimes I'll read straight on purpose, and it will not give you any clues to anything. And the part of that is because I guess it's the piece of the teacher in me. All right. So let me just say hello to everybody. Just a straight hello with no capital. Just hey. So you guys will see that's the me in the real time. All right. All right, you guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. If you have Patreon with us, you may want to go over there because yikes is all I got to say. All right, you all take care. Remember what we always say here on this channel, and that is man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. You guys remember to take care of yourselves first, and then, after that, you can take care of everybody else. Until we see each other again, please continue to be blessed.
Lockhart Perspective.